Before I get started, as always, I want to give all praise to our power, Yahawah, BAHASHAM, Yahawashi, BAHASHAM, Rachaha Kwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Greatmillstone. Salutation and blessings to the hopeful elect scattered throughout the four winds of the earth, all right, who are in hope of mercy and salvation during the time of Jacob's trouble, as well as when Yahawashi returns to the planet Earth, all right? I haven't quite, came with a title for this. This is basically like some current events type of information married to the scriptures. What you're looking at on the screen is LA city workers begin a 24-hour strike. And today is, what's today? Salakia. Yeah, Tuesday, August 8th, 2023, the hopeful year that all prophecy come to pass. And we're seeing America, Babylon the Great, being unraveled on levels to where society won't be able to hold itself intact. All right. I have a couple of these videos dealing with this LA city worker thing, because I believe Los Angeles, San Francisco, the state of California, with videos I've seen, videos brothers have shared, when you go down to the downtown areas, whether you be San Diego, Los Angeles, San Francisco, or Sacramento, which those are the four major cities in California, which there are a lot more. But you go to these areas and it's third world country looking, The homeless overrun everything. You have homeless being dropped off here from different states. All right. So I believe this will be the dumping grounds, for the homeless. It's a dump yard for the U.S. I believe this will be as the movie. I believe it was Russell Crowe, Escape from L.A. What was another movie? It's coming to me. Mad Max. I believe this will be the starting point of it. Which I could be wrong, but it's just too much going on here. The smash and grabs that are going on, where Jake is going into these jewelry stores, these malls, these galleries, and they just going in there with hammers, no guns, no nothing. They just going there with hammers and hoodies on, and the cops are not coming. All right. Los Angeles County, as well as up north in Oakland, in those counties, certain crimes do not, the police do not respond to certain 911 calls. And those calls include petty theft, domestic violence, everything that they usually would come for, besides like a murder or, a bank robber or something like that. But you see the video. We all see the videos of Jake running up in jewelry stores and gun stores and weed stores, and they coming out with millions of dollars worth of product. And no one's ever arrested. No one's ever caught. All right. This is because they're allowing this to take place. Okay. And now you see this is like a summer of strikes, as they call it, which my company that I work for, we almost went on strike. And I was for the strike, me, myself personally, due to the contract certain things in the contract, which I'm not going to discuss. But certain things in the contract, to me, as well as a lot of co-workers, is all bullshit. But anyway, what we're seeing is the unraveling and the destruction from within of Babylon the Great. All right. People are fed up. They charging an arm and a leg just to live in the state of California, but they don't want to pay you the wages that it takes for you to actually live and pay your bills. All right, put gas in your car, and food on your table. And then a lot of them don't even want to give you health insurance. So they basically want to work you for peanuts, all right? Work you till you sick as hell, all right? And then they don't give you health care. So when you do get sick, or maybe you get hurt, you know what I'm saying? And then you got to pay for your own health care. So people are rising up, and this is what we're seeing with these strikes. All right, the LA city where we used to see these people all the time downtown, cleaning up after the homeless, and I know they're tired of it. You know, you can't pay people peanuts and expect them to do their job thoroughly when homeless people are defecating on the sidewalk on broad daylight. You know, tent cities. You know, on regular streets in the downtown area where businesses are still functioning. This place is over. It's done. All right? This is the time, all right, where you're supposed to be getting right with your Father, because there's not an individual, even these strikes are going to change the outcome of what's to come. This is just the beginning of total anarchy and chaos. All right, that's what this is, because it will get that way, to the point of survival for real. All right, and not just in California, but in all of Babylon the Great. Okay, so without any further ado, let me play this video, and I'm gonna line up. Let me get my scriptures together. Pull up Blue Letter real quick. Because we're definitely in the time to where any day, and I have another video I want to play regarding the financial change that's coming, and these are words out of a former banker's a banker by the name of William Barney, all right, which he's a former banker now, but he's an insider. He knows things that the actual public don't know, and he's coming out and he's speaking on it, and he's speaking on this wealth transfer that's getting ready to happen once again. All right, but this time it's going to be a lot worse, and a lot more people will be out of business. Really, everybody will be out of business and out of work, and everything will be digital. Okay, this is where we're going. This is the time Yahawah, BAHASHAM, Yahawashi said to keep watch for. Okay, now bear with me a second. I'm looking for my Blue Letter icon, and I can't find it. It should be Natural News, King James. Where the hell is it? And I'll just go to Google. But you know, these are the times we're in. Okay. And the first place of business of scriptures to go to is Ecclesiastes, the 12th chapter. All right. Okay, because this is that time. All right. This is where Jake, you better repent, man. Okay, you better repent. Don't let that Montgomery beat down fool you. Okay, and that's, you know, I'm gonna speak on that, Lord will, in my next video. But because I wanted to, you know, gather what's going on in the spirit concerning that, you know, the spirit that's been put out there of that Alabama brawl, you know, and the only way you can see the spirit that's been put out there is by way of the World Wide Web, social media, all right? And you can see the Lord working, but that's not it, Jake. But anyway, let's play this, and I'm going to play this other video, and then I'm going to go into that other video that I came across with the former banker. So let's listen, all right? And not to mention, you had the trucking company, the third biggest freight company in the U.S., totally went under. And there's no, because I know people that work for that company. All right, I used to see those trucks all the time. I would talk to some of the drivers. You know, we'd be at the same spot, and now you don't see those trucks no more. Those drivers are, you know, working for different companies. The company that I work for, we're getting a whole lot more freight, okay? So, but that doesn't mean things are all good, okay? Because, like I said, these are the times the Lord spoke of, okay? And now these city workers are on strike, okay? Now, if you shut down, if the city workers shut down and don't show up to work, things will be interrupted that keep the city sanitary, all right? Public, so-called public parks won't be cleaned. They will become basically wastelands, all right? But let me let this play. I don't want to keep rambling on. Salakia. And a lot of these unions that say they for the people, they're not. All right, these unions have been, you know, infiltrated and taken over. All right, and this is why they don't fight as they would going back to the 80s, you know, the 70s. They don't fight for the workers as they once did before, you know. And Salakia, you know, forgive me for rambling, but the reason why is because once upon a time, these union jobs, like these trucking jobs, these city working jobs, these unions were strictly for Edomites. Once upon a time, Jake couldn't even get in the union. All right? So now what you're seeing is you're seeing the union workers, a lot of the union workers are Israelites. All right? But a lot of the union, and the heads of the union, all right? Because you don't really see the heads of these unions. You see like the presidents, you know, the presidents over the regions and this, that, and the other. You know, they got different titles. They're all Edomites, okay? So now they like, man, fuck these niggas and these spics. We're going to give them peanuts and tell them it's a good contract. But as you see, Jake ain't fucking with it, man. All right? Because like I said, the cost of living in California is fucking ridiculous. All right? You got to deal with traffic, the gas, all that is not factored in when they bring these contracts to these different workers, whether it be city work, freight work, even hospitals. All right? It don't add up. All right? You still find yourself struggling. You still find yourself paycheck to paycheck. Okay? Okay, now that's that one. Now this video here.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's time.
He looked GMO'd. But this one here, it's a little longer. Or is it this one? Yeah, let's look at this one.
Is closed. There's going to be a big rally here. You see the stage over there with the sign that says Union Strong. And as you look to the left over here in front of LA City Hall, you'll see various people picketing. These are LA City workers. We're talking sanitation workers, the people who drive the trash trucks, engineers, mechanics, gardeners, custodians, lifeguards, airport shuttle bus drivers, and other city employees. They accuse the city of unfair labor practices and of failing to bargain in good faith. This is a 24-hour strike, but they definitely want to send a message. Let's come on over here and talk.
And this is the type of shit that started in Europe. You know, those different countries where people were striking and mad. So you just look for these things to escalate, okay? I'm going to play a little bit more.
Raymond Meza, who's with the Service Employees International Union, Local 721. This is the union that is responsible for today's walkout. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
It's loud, I know.
Yes, it is.
Great music, but it's quite loud. What is the plan today? Why are you doing this?
Yeah, so we're here to demand respect. Our union put across over 200 proposals to LA City to solve the recruitment and retention crisis for city employees, and the city did not come and bargain in good faith. What I mean by that is they didn't come ready to address the issues, and so we're going back to the bargaining table on Monday, and we're sending them a message that they need to take this seriously.
What about the poor taxpayers of Los Angeles who aren't going to get some of the services they need today?
That's exactly why we're out here. I'm an Angelino myself, lifelong, and there are some city departments with vacancy rates of over 40%. The media's in a lot of news coverage for animal services. We have members who pick up trash, who fix potholes. 40% of those positions are not filled. The taxpayers are suffering every single day, and we are trying to make sure and put pressure on the city that they need to fill those vacancies.
All right, Raymond, thank you for talking.
Because they not going to fill those vacancies, all right? What you people have to understand is that the plug has been pulled on Babylon the Great. All right, just look at the highest seat in office, the highest seat in the U.S., which is the president. You can't tell me that they didn't pull the plug on this place. This is all bullshit now, okay? But I just wanted to show that, just to show the spirit that's out there. This is a small uproar right here. People are fed up, you know, and as he said, they don't have the people to fill those. Well, they do. People do want to work, but they're not filling positions. All right, they're not filling the positions. Okay, so you know that's just the city workers. And you're going to have more of these type of skirmishes, for lack of a better word, continuing to spring up, okay? They're going to continue to happen, all right? And this is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 12, verse 1. It says, "Remember now thy Creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not." And this is the whole point of us showing you the things that's here and the things that's coming, because our job is to push this vibration out through the airwaves of the World Wide Web, that it may hit the spirit of the elect. It may hit you in your ears and stick to your spirit, that you may return to our power, Yahawah, through his son Yahawashi, all right, before the evil days come. Because what you're seeing are people that's fed up. Okay? They're fed up. Okay? And you're going to start to see more and more. Like I said, my company was on the verge to strike. All right? We even voted down we voted on our contract that we just got out here on the West Coast. All right, the West Coast of our company, which we're Teamsters as well. We voted down on the contract, but what beat us out was the Midwest and the South. All right, they beat us out. They all voted yes because it was beneficial to them, because the cost of living isn't as it is in the breadbasket of America in the South. It's not how it is on the coasts of the U.S. All right, East and West. Okay, so they beat us out. So when we voted no and it didn't pass, you know who they sent and said that we had to vote for it because it's not going to change, and they didn't give us no explanation, no nothing, and our union reps didn't step in, didn't say nothing, didn't have no info for us. You know who they sent? Yeah, you guessed it. They sent the palest, pastiest Idumean to make sure that we re-voted and pushed it through. Yet all the workers are so-called black and brown, majority. All right? Majority of the workers, and I'm talking about not just the company I'm at, throughout the entire company. All right? Throughout the entire company, dealing with the West Coast, the East Coast, Midwest, and the South, because Israel is the majority. Okay? They sent the pastiest Edomite to come sit, in these terminals, the different terminals, and give you a bullshit handshake, the bullshit greeting, and ask if you had any questions, like they was gonna change anything. They ain't finna, because they are in bed with the company. It's an Edomite owned company and an Edomite owned union. All right. That Jake was, at once upon a time, you couldn't even get near the union. Okay? So going back, Ecclesiastes 12:1, remember now thy creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them. And that's what you see. People ain't having pleasure in these times. All right? Rent is due, first of the month. Same time rent is due, car note. After you done paying the rent, the car note, going grocery shopping, you barely have enough money to put in your gas tank to get back and forth to work. All right? You surviving on sandwiches, you got a whole family you taking care of. And you barely making it. We in them evil times. We in them evil days where you ain't got no pleasure. Okay? The 9 to 5 hard working man, you lose that way. All right? In order to make money nowadays, you got to be a computer savvy YouTuber, and know how to be a goddamn folly demon to get clicks so that you can be paid on fucking social media, like that whole trend that's going on with Jake acting like goddamn robots, to get a check, to look stupid. Okay? But anybody with morale, dignity, and integrity ain't gonna do that. Ain't finna compromise themselves just to look stupid in front of the world so you can get a paycheck. All right? Verse 2, it says, while the sun or the light or the moon or the stars be not darkened, nor the clouds return after the rain, and the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble. Now, after I read this, I'm going to go to this banker. All right? The bankers, the ones that actually know the economics of this system, the economics of this society that we live in, they're trembling because they know a bigger shift is coming. A bigger wealth transfer is coming. And Jake is on a low level with these strikes. Jake don't understand what's really happening. And that's why these strikes are happening, because there's about to be a shift. There's about to be a great shift to where it will only be rich and poor. You know, you got a lot of you out there that, well, I got XRP and I'm in crypto, so I'm going to be safe when it happens. You don't understand the magnitude of what's getting ready to happen. They're not going to have anybody else, a nobody that's not in the know, that didn't put trillions, you know, some of their millions and some of their billions to build this worldwide digital platform that they've constructed, all right, with the WEF. If you ain't an insider, all right, with the World Economic Forum, if you just a nigga that knew crypto and understood the stock market and all that, and you invested your money in XRP and all these old different digital based platforms, and you think you safe, you in a world of trouble. You in a world of trouble, because that's not going to save you. They going to have control over everything. This is what you people don't understand. All right? They going to have the control because it's been given in the power of their hands. Again, verse 3. In the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease, because they are few. And you heard my man on the strike. He said they not filling the positions because they don't want to fill the positions. All right? They overwork the workers they do have. Okay? And the grinders cease because they are few, and those that look out of the windows be darkened, meaning no future. And it ain't no future. Okay? And you can see it if your eyes are open. And the doors shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is low. And he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low. And pretty soon ain't going to be no rising up to go to work. All right? Because the grinding is going to be low. And then those that are working, the conditions out in there, out in society, will be so dangerous, you ain't going to want to work. Okay? Hence the movie Escape from LA, even the movie Elysium. All right? So, now let's read this. I mean, not read, Salakia. I want you to check out this banker here on TikTok. This was a repost. Now, I was looking all over for the full interview, but he says a whole lot in this 6 minutes and 39 seconds. And before we get here, let's go to the scripture that I wanted to bring out for this. Habakkuk, the 2nd chapter. All right. And I'm going to just read verse 1, then we're going to play it. And we're going to come back to this. All right. Habakkuk 2:1. I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower. All right. And this is what the prophets do. The prophets watch from their towers. What's your tower? This your computer, your phone, your tablets. All right. And it's not to watch the Olympics, or to give a report on LeBron James and his son, how they doing, this, that. No, we watching for the prophecies that Yahawah BAHASHAM Yahawashi has set forth. All right. This is why Yahawashi said, watch and pray. Okay. We're on our tower watching for the things that were to come, that Yahawashi told us to watch for. And we're starting to see all those signs Yahawashi said would indicate that he is going to make his return. Okay. So it says, I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower, and will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what I shall answer when I am reproved. And the Lord answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. All right, now we'll come back to that. Now let's listen.
We're at a pivotal point in history. I'm sure many of you sense that. It's not to be understated. We're undergoing such a transition in the world. Many have compared the coming events to like the parting of the Red Sea. Well,
the parting of the Red Sea, and what was so significant of that is the Israelites got through and the Egyptians were drowned. All right, and this is what they're comparing this new currency change. The elite will get through, but all the rest of the people, you will be stuck and drowned in that digital world. All right. But he's going to even say you can't even, it's far bigger than that. All right. Because it's biblical. That's why it's far bigger than the Red Sea. Okay. A lot of people are getting ready to be hit, and they ain't even see it coming. Even those that think they see it coming.
This is far beyond that. The scope is much bigger. It covers the entire planet. As we're nearing a point of the collapse. And they announced that in the last 12 months, $200 billion in deposits have left Chase Bank. This is huge, folks. We have the makings of a banking apocalypse unlike anything we've ever seen in our lives. The military's been on mass movement throughout the United States. There have been heavily movements in 27 states. There's more coming. We've even seen it here locally. They were literally driving a tank down the main drag here in town. It was unbelievable. So a lot of choppers going overhead.
And by the way, he did this the end of July. Okay. This is when he did this video. His name is Will Barney.
Military aircraft. Everybody's like, what's going on? Well, we're actually in the midst of the roundup, and they're kind of doing this strategically because they can't. This isn't something you can do in one day. It's just too big for that. So they're doing it in pieces. And what we're beginning to hear reports of is that internet outages are happening in some areas for an hour, for 2 hours, or 3 hours, and it comes back on. Well, these dark periods are so that they can do their stuff that they need to do in terms of taking these people into custody, and can stop their communications with any of the outside people. So you're going to continue to hear of this. You will probably begin to hear of testing of the emergency broadcast system in various areas. There was actually some testing going on in Florida today of the EBS. This is all preparation for the EBS that goes nationwide when we get to that point. So Germany is on the just a trigger edge of complete financial collapse. They're not saying anything about this, but they are in big trouble. Deutsche Bank, big trouble. When this begins to hit, the first thing that will happen is all credit will freeze up. Well, what does that mean? That means suddenly your plastic doesn't work anymore. We could possibly hit the point of the wealth transfer beginning this month. I realize there's only 11 days left. That's not a lot of time. But at the movement that this is moving in terms of activity and what's being exposed, things could move very rapidly. What I do expect in terms of some of the historical assets and revaluation of currencies is that some of that will take place during the quiet time. In other words, when the EBS happens, there's going to be stay in your homes. There's going to be 10 days of communication blackout.
Stay in your homes is another round of lockdowns. And this time that it happens, there will be no, when you come outside, it's going to be the same. All right? This will be the great change that's getting ready to happen, not only in society, but financially. All right? They're talking about they're going to expose all these pedophiles and these pedophile rings, Hollywood, this, that, and the third. They've been talking about this since 2020. They've been talking about this. Okay? And now they're saying it's coming to a halt. All right? So when we start to see, like he said, emergency broadcasting, they've already been doing blackouts in certain areas. So it's already happening. All right, it's already happening. Let's read again. Verse 3, it says, "For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak." All right, things are happening. All right, the main vision is the MOTB. All right, moving over to this digital platform, this beast system that this Edomite is getting ready to make every soul on the earth make a conscious decision on whether they're going to accept it or not. All right? This is what's happening. At the end, it shall speak and not lie. Okay? That's what's happening. We're seeing the prophecies that was written down by our forefathers thousands of years ago. We're living in a time to where these things are coming to pass. And Jake, you ain't paying attention. All right? You're not paying attention. Majority of our people.
Or at least that's what we're hearing. And there could be during that time even appointments being made and transactions being done very quietly in the background. This will be all with heavy NDAs. No one's supposed to talk about their transactions, talk about where they get their money or anything like this. It's going to take some time to work through that. I think between now and let's say into September, or maybe late September, so the next 2 months plus.
You hear the apostles, we're months away from this thing being rolled out. We're not years and years away from this thing happening. They're getting ready to roll this thing out. You're really getting ready to see, do you truly believe or not? You know what I'm saying? You are really getting ready to be tested. Your faith is truly about to be tested. All right? Let me pull up another tab, blue letter. Okay? All of us are really about to be tested whether we believe or not. Because the main thing that makes this mugs keep going is money. Okay? And if you're down with the digital way of living through the MOTB, the CHIP technology, all right, the CBDC, which they've already said that it's going to be as small as a piece of rice and it's going to go under the skin. This is the what they're talking about, all right? This is the book of Revelation chapter 3, verse 10. It says, "Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation." And what he's speaking about is the hour of temptation. All right? Because when they roll out this new digital way, okay, you heard him say over 200 billion deposits have been taken out of Chase Bank. All right? And that's just Chase. Majority of people go to Chase. They go to these big bankers, these big banks. All right? Chase, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, You know, these are the banks that most people use. All right, the banks that have been set up by the super elite. We ain't talking about private banks like credit unions. All right, we're talking about everyday banks that people have access to, where there's a goddamn ATM machine everywhere you go for these banks. These are the banks that most people deal with. Okay? It says, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation. There will be a season of trial out here on every soul. Mainly you, Jay, because this is to see what you're going to do. All right? Because you're the Lord's people. All right? And some of you are so in love with money, you're going to say, hey, it's going to be the only way I'm going to be able to eat and feed my children, like General Yahawah said, then you're gonna be down with it. Okay? And that's gonna be your first class. That'll be your first class ticket to nuclear destruction. Okay? It said, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. All right? So what this man Will Barney is talking about is that hour of temptation, is when there's that shift. He's even going to say there's going to come a time to where your plastic won't even work. What's that all about? All right? They're getting ready to force you to make that decision. Let's listen some more.
We could be seeing those things take place in the background. I think by the time we get into late September, it's going to be publicly in the face of everyone, hey, there's a financial change occurring here. Some of the things that we've been seeing over the last week here is train derailments continuing. We've had 3 additional quite nasty ones, spilling chemicals and stuff. The deep state has been using trains to move, shall we say, cargo that they shouldn't be moving. And so there's some of these are having to be initiated, unfortunately, to stop the movements of this stuff. And others is the deep state trying to cause a catastrophe, such as chemicals in the water, in the ground, something of this nature that they can distract the public with some new catastrophe while they carry on what they're doing. So these things are all evidences of the war that were underway here, and that the good guys are winning. I want you guys to realize we're winning every day now. There are battles being won, and you should not.
Now, of course, he don't know that you're not winning. All right. This is a banker who think he got his conscience now. All right, but this is nothing more than Psalm 64. Let's get that real quick. Okay, because our main premise is to show you real time things in society, and we marry them to the scriptures. All right, and show you that these things were written about. And now we're seeing them. Psalm 64:8. So they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. He's a former banker. All right. He knows what's going on. All right. And he's calling himself blowing the whistle and saying, no. See, he don't even understand fully what's getting ready to happen. And that's how cold the elite bankers are. That's the left hand of the Most High. All right. It says, so they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away. Okay. And that's what's happening. He's fleeing. He think he's going to get out of that circle, warn the people, and tell them to invest in this, invest in that, so that they can have some wealth when this change comes. All right? And people have fallen for it. All right? It says, and all men shall fear and shall declare the work of the Most High, for they shall wisely consider his doing. Because this whole thing is the work of the Most High playing out. All right? It ain't gonna be no digital platform that we all gonna abide by for the next however many years. Nah, it's not gonna come to fruition. They're gonna try, all right, but it's gonna fail miserably because the people are not gonna have it. That's the other side of it, all right. Let's listen to a little more rest of this.
Not be discouraged. In fact, you should be more excited than ever right now, because there's nothing they can do to stop the impending justice. It's barreling down on them like a freight train, and they don't know how to stop it. But it's exciting that we're getting to this point, that we've gotten. This was kind of a top-down thing. They had to work their way down, but now we're getting into those middle people, those lower-level deep staters. By the time we get to EBS, there won't be any big names to round up. They've already been handled. Okay, so that'll be good news. Because
and what he's talking about as far as big names being rounded up, he's talking about these pedophiles and these trafficking rings. All right, and I've been saying this through the spirit and power of Yahawashi. Don't be surprised if Trump comes out with JFK's son declaring a victory, like they've taken down evil when they're part of the evil. All right, the deception will be great.
I think when people find out, when things are revealed and they realize what kind of criminality was going on, what kind of things were happening, and especially the tie-in with the children and what was going on with that, they're going to be angry. And so how do you calm the masses down that are angry? Well, you begin tribunals and you begin justice so that they feel that it's been taken care of. So we can expect that to come.
There you have it. Let me see something real quick. Just want me to log in. I'm not gonna do that. What I will do, bear with me real quick. Let me see if that was the one.
And it's not to be understated. We're undergoing such a transition in the world.
Yeah, that's basically the same thing. So, I mean, you get the point, Lord will. All right? These devils are telling on each other. The grinding is ceasing. The vision, all right, is for this appointed time that we're living in. And we're getting ready to witness the hour of temptation. All right? Back in Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 3, it says, "For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry." And we're seeing it. Former bankers are coming out. The first one, and there's many more. Another name is Richard Warren. He was a former banker. All right. Now you have this guy, Will Barney. Okay, and I'm sure there's others that's coming out speaking the same thing, saying we're undergoing a great digital change, a currency change, to where everything will be digital, and it's going to operate with the MOTB. Okay? Exactly what the apostles and the elders have been teaching since before any of us that came in 07, 08, all right, had, they've been teaching it. And now it's here. Okay? That same vision. This is what they stuck to the prophecy. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. Now it's here. All right? Now it is here, in front of everybody's faces. So, Jake, you better repent and get right with your power, because the time is at hand. Call halal Yahawah BAHASHAM, and we on to the next video. Shalom.